You know, and that's a blessing, Doc, and we appreciate you bringing them, which is a testament, which kind of gets me into another question I had. With all of your successes, Doc, you've been to the law school at North Carolina Central. You're on the Board of Trustees.
Right.
Is that correct?
I'm on the Board of Trustees at North Carolina Central. I'm chairman of the Board of Trustees at Shaw. I'm on the Board of Trustees at Bethune-Cookman. I'm on the Board of Trustees at Edward Waters, board at Florida A&M. I mean, we just go on and on and on.
Wow. And you, I mean, out of all of your successes, Doc, you manage, and I happen to know you personally, Doc, and you manage to stay so humble and in his will. Is that difficult?
Well, you know, not to be humble, because I just think it's a part of my upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you know, life can be difficult sometimes.
Oh, yes.
Every day, God never said every day was going to be Sunday.
That's right.
And sometimes you have some ups, and sometimes you have some downs. But I just take it all in stride. I know that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, a better day is coming.
Right.
You know, so no matter how bad things get, they're going to get better.
Right.
And I'm a positive thinker. I think you got to think positive. You got to believe. You got to believe. Think you can. Right. Either way, you're right.
That's right.
I mean, you got to believe. So, during the worst of times, I have a knack to just stay positive. And to, you know, I think being humble though is so important, because, you know, it'll open doors for you too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people will open up to you when they realize and they understand that you don't think you're so high and mighty,
right?
And you don't think you're better than anybody else. And you treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, and when you opened up your home to our crew, and we've had, I mean, your staff is just so gracious, and just walking around this mansion, 25,000 square feet. I mean, it's a hotel, man.
God is good. God is good. And you know, you compare this to the little shack that I grew up in. It probably didn't have 2,500 square feet. As a matter of fact, it probably had 500 square feet.
Wow.
Or less. I mean, we lived in a little 3-room shack that probably had, each room were at best 150 square feet each. So we probably had 500 square feet all total.
Wow.
And 13 of us, though. 13 of us lived there.
Wow.
And we had great time.
Oh, yeah. And that's where you got all of your internal, what I call internal fortitude from. I can tell. And a couple of other personal questions I want to ask you. What drives you? What is it about life, circumstance? What drives you, man? You're driven.
Well, a will to be as good as I can be, the will to win, a will to succeed, a will to help people, a will to be in a position to help people. You know, I'm a fanatic about reaching back, giving back, helping somebody who's less fortunate than I am. I get juice out of that, man. I feel good about it. I wake up and I can face the day with a lot of energy, knowing that I've done something that helped some college, some black college, some school, some church, some ministry, some program that's helping other people. That drives me, and every time I can do that, it just puts another star there that I can see. And I like that. I mean, I get off on that. On helping people, making a difference.
Well, it's evident when we look at your videos, when we look at your television station that you still own, and when we look at all that you do. I mean, you just named off all these board of trustees you sit on. You haven't even begun to talk about all the community activities that you're in.
Oh, yeah. It's
how do you, well, there's people who are watching, they're like, how does this man, are there two of them? Are there two of them? You know, how do you manage all that?
Well, you got to have a person like Corey Love, number one, to make it all happen. So that helps.